Hi everyone, in this video tutorial we'll learn a few important predefined functional interfaces, that is consumer, supplier, function and predicate. These functional interfaces are introduced in Java 8 and we can use a Lambda expression to implement these functional interfaces. Okay, and in order to work with a Stream API you have to understand these functional interfaces. Okay, and in this video tutorial we'll learn all about these functional interfaces with lots of examples. So first we'll begin with the consumer interface. We understand consumer interface with its implementation using Lambda expression, and we'll start with the basic and we'll learn a lot about consumer interface with its usage. Alright, next we'll see the supplier interface and its implementation using Lambda expression, and we'll see how to use supplier interface and the use cases. Next we'll see function interface and its implementation using Lambda expression, and we'll see the use case of function interface, when we can use a function interface, and next we'll see predicate interface. So we'll learn about predicate interface with Lambda expression implementation examples. Okay, so we'll learn all these functional interfaces with lots of examples and we'll understand when to use these interfaces. Okay, alright, let's begin with the consumer interface. Consumer is a built-in function interface introduced in Java 8, and we can use a Lambda expression to implement a consumer interface. So basically we use a consumer interface whenever we want to take object as an input and we perform some operation on it and we don't want to return anything. That time we can use a consumer interface. For example, consumer interface takes a generic type here, so type can be object or any input, and consumer interface provides accept method. So accept method takes generic as an argument and it doesn't return anything. So look at here, the return type of accept method is void, so it doesn't return anything. It just consumes the input object and it will perform some operation on it. Alright, and here look at here, consumer interface again provides one more method, that is IndThen method. So we can use this method to chain the consumer objects. So we'll see these two methods with lots of examples in this video tutorial. Alright, let's understand more about consumer interface with examples. So right click new and create a class and let's call it as consumer demo. So let's implement consumer interface in a traditional way, and then we'll replace this traditional way with a Lambda expression. So let's take input as a string, and here we need to override the accept method, and what I will do here is I will just simply print the input like this. Okay, it's pretty simple. And we quickly create a main method here, and inside a main method we create object of consumer like this. Okay, and we call the accept method. So traditionally we do like this, right? And here we need to pass the string, and let's run the program and let's see the output. So in traditional way we simply implement interface like this and we override the methods, and in a main method we create object and we call the methods. Okay, so let's replace this traditional way with a Lambda expression. So what I will do here is I will just going to implement this interface using anonymous class first. So I'm going to just print here. So this is not required because we are using Lambda expression. So this is the anonymous implementation of consumer interface. So we can run the program and we can see the output. Now it's easy to replace anonymous implementation with the Lambda expression. So as we know that Lambda expression is anonymous function which don't have name, right? So let's replace the name part here. Okay, so this is the Lambda expression, and let's give a syntax arrow. Okay, so this is the parameter and this is the body of the Lambda expression. So this is the Lambda expression which implements consumer interface, and we can also remove the part here, remove the type, and this Lambda expression body has only one statement. We can also remove the curly and open braces like this. Okay, so this is, look at here, this is how the lambda expression looks like. So you can run the program and we can see the output. Okay, so this is how we can use a lambda expression to implement consumer interface. Alright, so let us see one more example. We can also chain the consumers. So let us see how to do it. So this is example 2. So here we quickly create a consumer first, and here we pass string as input, and this is consumer 2, and here again we pass a parameter. I am going to call it as input, and this is the lambda expression basically, and here I just print the input, and I will just say hello world, something like this. Okay, and I will create one more consumer object. So this is consumer 3, and here I will say Java. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's see how to chain these consumer objects. So let's call consumer 2 and then call and then method, and consumer 3 and then call accept method here, and I'm going to say hello. So here we are using and then method to chain the consumers, right? So this is the and then method that we are using. Okay, so look at here the result, hello world and hello Java. So this will call first this consumer and then it will call consumer 3. Okay, it's great. So this is how we can use and then method to chain the consumer objects. Now let us see how to use for each method. So basically for each method internally uses consumer object, and we use for each method to print the list of objects. Let me quickly create a list of objects here. List of, I am going to store integers, arrays dot as list, okay, so list of integers. Now I'm going to use for each method here. So look at here, the parameter for each method is consumer, right? And what we'll do, we'll create a one more consumer. So here I will create a consumer object. It takes integer, and let me call it as consumer 4, and I'm going to pass consumer 4 here. So this will simply takes each element from the list and it will print it. Okay, so let me comment out this code so that we'll see better. So look at here, 1 2 3 4 and up to 8. So basically for each method will take each element from the list and it will just print. Okay, so internally for each method uses consumer, and consumer for each method will call accept method. So accept method again uses this lambda expression. It's pretty simple, right? So instead of passing consumer, we can directly pass a lambda expression here like this, and we can delete this statement. So this will also print the same result. Okay, so this is how we use consumer inside a for each method. Alright, so these are the few examples to demonstrate the usage of consumer. As we know that functional interface is an interface which has only one abstract method, and we can use a lambda expression to implement a functional interface. And Supplier is an inbuilt functional interface which is introduced in Java 8, and we'll use lambda expression to implement Supplier functional interface. So look at here, Supplier interface is a generic interface. We can pass a type here, but Supplier interface provides a get method. It doesn't take any argument and it returns a result. Okay, we basically use Supplier functional interface to return something, but it doesn't take any argument. Alright, let's learn more about Supplier functional interface with an example. So let me quickly create a class here. let's name it as supplier demo. So as usual, we'll start with the very basic. So let's first see the traditional way implementation of supplier interface, and here I will just pass local date time. So I'm going to use supplier to just get a local date time. Okay, and here we need to override get method. Alright, and here what I will do, I will just return local date time, current local date time. Okay, and next what we will do, we'll create a main method and we create object of supplier interface, right? Like this. Demo, and then we'll call get method. So this will get a local date time. So I'm going to put a sys out here to print the result. Great. So look at here, get method returns a local date time, but it doesn't take any argument. Okay, so let's run the program. So look at here, this is the local current date time. Now what we will do, let's use a Lambda expression to implement supplier function interface. So how to do it? So first what we will do, we'll use anonymous implementation of supplier interface, and then we'll replace with the Lambda expression. It's pretty simple. So what we'll do, we'll just return local date time here, and we can remove this code because we are using anonymous implementation of supplier interface. Alright, let's run the program. Look at here the result. Okay, now it's easy for us to replace this anonymous class implementation with Lambda expression. Okay, so as we know that Lambda expression is an anonymous function which don't have any name. So let's go ahead and let's remove this part, and here what we'll do, we'll provide arrow. So this is the syntax of Lambda expression. Okay, so look at here, this is the Lambda expression. Now we can run the program and we can see the same result. So Lambda expression contains only one statement. Even we can also remove this curly braces and also remove the return statement. Okay, so look at here how the Lambda expression looks like. Now run the program again and let us see the result. So this is how we use supplier interface to supply the current local date time. Okay, so basically use supplier whenever you want to supply some data to the other methods. So here I am just supplying local date time. Okay, that is current local date time to the main method. Let us see one more example. So look at here, we have product class with ID, name and price. So what we'll do, we'll create a list of products and we supply list of products to the other methods. Okay, what we'll do, we'll use a supplier interface to supply a list of products. Okay, so let us see how to do it. Let's create a supplier and let's pass a list of products. Okay, and let's call it as supplier2, or let's call it as product supplier. Okay, and let's use a Lambda expression here and let's create a list of products. So look at here, I have a list of products here, product 1, product 2, product 3 up to product 8. So these are the list of products, and here I need to return the list of product. Alright, so these are the dummy products. Whenever you want some dummy products, then you can just call this product supplier and you can get this list of products. So how to get a list of products, that I'm going to show here. So what we'll do, let's just print out this product list. So just get this product supplier object and then call get method, so you can get the list of products like this. So let's run the program and you can see the output. So these are the list of products. So we can optimize this code. So what we'll do, we'll create a separate method to get a list of products. So what I will do, I will create a separate method to supply these products. Okay, so let's create a private static method and let's call this method as product supplier. So this method supplies list of products. So let me copy this, paste it here, and here just return product supplier. Okay, and here we need to call this method. Yeah, that's it. So look at here, this method supplies list of products to the main method. So whenever you want a list of products, then you can just call this product supplier, then you will able to get a list of products. Okay, so this is how we use supplier to supply list of products here. So let's run the program and let's see the output. So look at here, this is a list of products. Okay, so this is how we use supplier functional interface to supply some data. Remember, supplier functional interface doesn't take any argument, but it returns some result. Alright, I hope you understood the usage of supplier functional interface. Let's see the internal implementation of function interface. So this interface is annotated with @functional interface annotation, and this is the generic interface. And look at here, T is the type of the input to the function and R is the type of the result of the function. Okay, so as we know that function interface is a functional interface, it has only one abstract method, that is apply. Okay, so apply method accepts a single argument and it returns the result. Okay, and we can use a lambda expression to implement a function interface. Alright, let's understand more about a function interface with an examples. So let's create a class and let's name it as function demo, and let's quickly create a main method. So let's start with very basic. So first what we'll do, we'll create object of function interface, and string is type of the input to the function and integer is a result of the function. So basically what we are doing here is we are just passing string as an input, and we are getting a length of the string as a result. Okay, so first we'll implement this interface using anonymous class, and then we'll replace anonymous class with the lambda expression. So what we can do here is we can just return the length here, and then we can just print the length of the string. So as we know that function interface has apply method, so we can just pass string here. I'm going to pass Ramesh. Okay, so this will print the length of the string here. So let's run the program, and here you can see the output. The output is 6. Okay, so this is the length of the string Ramesh. And now let's go and let's replace this anonymous class implementation with the lambda expression. So as we know that lambda expression is an anonymous function which don't have any name, so let's go and let's replace this and provide here the lambda syntax, that is arrow. So this is the parameter and this is the body of the lambda expression. Alright, even we make this expression shorter, so we can remove the type here, and we can also remove open and curly braces because this expression contains only one statement. So this is very simple example. This example takes string as input and it returns the length of the string as a result. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's create one more example. In this example we'll give integer as input, and we'll check whether the integer is even or odd, and we just return the message in a string saying that the integer is even or odd. Okay, for that let me just give input as integer and the result as string. Okay, and Here is the lambda expression syntax. So this should take a parameter, right? So I'm going to call as number. Alright, and here I want to just check whether the number is even or odd. Number, if number divided by 2 and the remainder is 0, and then just I'm going to return number is even, something like this. Okay, else what we'll do, we'll just return number is odd. Okay, and here just print to the console. So let's use apply method here, apply, and just pass the integer. I'm going to pass 10 here. So let's go and let's run the program. So look at here, number 10 is even. If I pass 11, then it says number 11 is odd. Okay, so this is the example 2. Let's quickly create one more example. As we know that function interface provides one more method, that is and then. So we can use this method to change the functions. So let us see how to do it. So first what we'll do, we'll just create the function object here, and it accepts string as input and it returns integer as a result. So here we basically find the length of the string and we just return the length of the string here. So just pass type t and then we just return the length here. Okay, it's pretty simple. It returns a length of the string. And let's create one more function here. So it gives the input as integer and returns the integer as a result, and let's call it as function 4. So here what we will do, I will just multiply number into 2. Okay, and here I will store the result in some integer here, and here I'm going to use function 3. I'm going to call and then I will pass function 4, and then I'm going to call apply method, and here I will just pass the string Ramesh. So what this will do is, look at here, we first find the length of the string and then we pass that length to the function 4, and it will multiply the length of the string into 2, and then that result will be again stored in an integer. Let's go ahead and let's print the integer here. Pretty simple, right? We first find the length of the string and then that length will pass to the function 4, and function 4 will again use internally apply method, and it will just multiply the length of the string by 2 and it will return here, and that result will be stored in an integer. So let's go ahead and let's run the program, and look at here, the length of the string is 6 and 6 into 2, 12. The result is 12. Okay, it's a pretty simple example. Let us take one more example here. So look at here, this is a user class. It has ID, username, password and email field, and this is a user detail class. It has ID, username and email. Okay, so we use a function interface here. Basically we provide user as input to the function, and we will get user DTO as a result of the function. Okay, for example, we create a list of user objects. Okay, and here you can see here stream API provides a map method, and map method accepts a function as an argument. Okay, so if you don't know about the stream APIs, you can visit my previous video tutorials. I have created a series on stream APIs, and you can have a hands-on experience on it. So this is just an example to demonstrate how we can use a function to to produce the result. Okay, so map method accepts a function as an argument. So here, look at here, we are just converting user object into user data object. So map basically takes user as an input and it will produce a user DTO as a result. Okay, so internally function interface will use apply method, and apply method takes user as an input, and then this apply method will return user DTO object as a result. Okay, and then we'll collect the result and we convert a result into this list, and we store that list into a list of DTO objects, and we just print it out here. Okay, so let's run the program and let us see the output. So look at here, user object is converted into user DTO object. Okay, so user basically has a password field, but user DTO object don't have password field. So look at here the output, user DTO object don't have any password field. So this is how we can use a function interface to take input to the function, and it will produce the result, and it will return the result. So this is pretty simple. So I hope you understood all about function interface. Basically we use a predicate function interface for conditional check. So whenever you have a method which returns a boolean value either true or false, in that case you can use a predicate function interface. Predicate interface is a predefined functional interface, and we can use a Lambda expression to implement predicate interface. So we'll see how to use Lambda expression to implement predicate function interface in an example section. Alright, let's understand more about predicate function interface by looking into its internal implementation. So look at here in Eclipse. So this is the predicate functional interface, and it is a generic functional interface, and it accepts different types, like it can be an object or a wrapper classes. Alright, and predicate interface provides a test method. Okay, so this test method accepts single argument generic type. The type can be object or wrapper classes. Alright, and it returns a boolean. Okay, so it does some operation and it returns true or false. Okay, so let's understand more about predicate function interface with examples. So what I will do, I will create a class here first. Right click new and class, and let's name it as predicate demo. So first what we'll do, we'll see how to implement this interface in a traditional way. So I'm going to just implement this interface, and here what I will do, I will provide an integer. So this predicate interface provides a test method. So let's override it, and here what we'll do, we'll write the logic like if the number is even or odd. Okay, and here what we'll do, basically we'll write the main method here, and we basically create the object of this class, and we call the test method. Right, let's do it quickly. Call predicate demo, and here let's put a sysout to print the result, predicate dot test, and here I'm going to pass a value as 10. So let's quickly run the program and let us see the output. So look at here, the output is true because 10 is even number. I will pass 11, and look at here, the output is false because 11 is odd number. And if I pass 1, then let's run the program and let us see the output, false, 1 is odd. Okay, so this is a traditional implementation of predicate interface. Now let's go ahead and let's replace this implementation with Lambda expression. Okay, so as we know that we can use a Lambda expression to implement a functional interfaces, right? If you don't know about Lambda expression and functional interfaces, you can visit my previous video tutorials where I have explained you all about functional interfaces and Lambda expressions. Alright, let's go ahead, let's quickly replace this implementation with a Lambda expression. So what we'll do, we'll just here we first implement this interface using anonymous, and I'm going to copy this code. So this is basically the anonymous implementation of predicate interface. So I can remove this part. Okay, and here what we'll do, we'll simply replace this anonymous implementation with a lambda expression. So here I'm going to just call the test. Okay, if we run the program, so this will give the result true. Okay, so this is the anonymous implementation of predicate interface. So let's use a lambda expression now. So as we know that lambda expression is a anonymous function, it don't have any name. So let's replace this part and let's provide a syntax of lambda expression. That so here yeah, that's it. And we can also remove the type here because compiler will know the type of this this method. Okay, so that's it. This is the lambda expression implementation of predicate interface. So let's go ahead and let's run the program and look at here the true. Okay, so this is how we use predicate interface to check whether a number is even or odd, and based on the condition it returns true or false. So whenever you have such requirement, then you can use a predicate interface. So one more basic use of predicate interface is in a filter method. Okay, so stream API provides a filter method. So inside a filter method we can use a predicate interface. So we basically apply the condition in a filter and that condition returns either true or false. Okay, let us see how to do it with an example. This is the example 2. So here I will create a list of integers. Okay, now let's use a stream API here. So what I will do, I will convert list into stream first, and then stream provides a filter method. So look at here the parameter for filter method, that is predicate, right? So here basically we add a condition to the filter method, and based on the condition this filter method will filter out the collection of objects. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's add the predicate. So here what I will do, before adding the predicate, I will create a predicate object here first. So this condition I am going to add to the filter. So basically it takes elements from the list and it will just check whether element is greater than 5. Okay, and here what I will do, I will again use collect method and I will collect the result. I can just iterate over a for each loop and I can just here print the result. So here is a list of integers and we have created a condition using predicate interface. This is the lambda expression or lambda implementation of predicate interface, and we are passing this predicate to the filter method. So basically filter method requires a predicate as an argument. Okay, so normally we use predicate in a filter method, and whenever you have a method which returns a boolean value either true or false, in that case you can use a predicate. Okay, so these are the two usage of predicate interface. We can apply multiple conditions in a filter method. For example, right now we have only one condition, right? This is a predicate. Now we can add a multiple predicates. For example, let me just copy this code, and here this is less than 8. Okay, so we are going to filter out all the numbers which are in between 5 and 8. Alright, so predicate has AND method, so we can use AND method to provide conditions. So basically we have provided two conditions. So this will filter out the elements in a list which are less than 5 and greater than 5 and less than 8. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's run the program. So look at here, 6 and 7 are numbers which are which is the result of this condition. So here what I will do, I will just add println so that this will print in a separate line. So look at here, 6 and 7 are the result of this condition. This is how we can use AND method to add multiple conditions. Alright, let us take one more example. Now we use OR method. Okay, so look at here, this is the predicate or a condition which will just return a length. Whether the element length is equal to 3, it returns true if the length is 3. And here this predicate condition returns true if the element starts with letter A, and this is the list of objects. And in a filter we are applying two predicates using OR method. Okay, we are just checking whether the element length is equal to 3 or the element starts with letter A. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's run the program. Yeah, look at here, this is the result. Okay, so here we are using OR condition, so this will print AA, and then the length of this element is 3, so it will just print 4 elements. So this is a pretty simple example to demonstrate the usage of predicate interface. Okay, just remember, whenever you want to check the condition in the filter method, and whenever you have a method which returns a boolean value either true or false, in these cases you can use a predicate function interface. Alright, I hope you found this video tutorial useful. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Whenever I will publish such videos you will get notified. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.